What's up, fuckers? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I've always wanted to open the stream with that, but I've resisted the urge to do that until just now, apparently. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Thanks for joining me. This is your daily Patreon stream. I leave these streams public. I hope. Hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah, it is public. Okay, good. I leave these streams public while I'm streaming so that if you're subscribed and you've clicked the bell, you can come get a free stream even if you're not on Patreon. I don't want to put everything behind the paywall, right? Like, I want to mix being able to survive and live with, you know, free content, free stuff for you guys. I'm not even bothering to turn on my studio. Well, let's see. Yeah, all right, I'll leave it on. In the middle of the day in the wintertime, the sun is brutal, so I don't even make an attempt to have this room look good during the daytime, but that's okay. Somebody asked on the stream yesterday. Oh, hold on, let me pay some bills. CiottiFPV.com has a million different ways that you can support me. You can join the Patreon page for $3 a month. That's 10 cents a day, and you will get daily streams. The replays of this stream disappear from public, but there's a link to them over on Patreon and in the Discord channel. There's a bunch of affiliate links. You can just click those before you do for free money. It's literally free money for me. Every time you do an Amazon order, a GetFPV order, omagod.com, FPV Crate, a bunch of others on there. If you somehow remember to click my link before those orders, I will get 6% of that order for free. It's just found money. There's a Fiverr store in there. I can work for you, teach you how to fly better, teach you how to tune better, spec out your builds, all kinds of good stuff going on over there. An Etsy store with a whole bunch of stickers. The stickers are expensive because the point is that you're supporting me and then just getting a sticker. So yeah, don't bug me that $5 is crazy for stickers. You're supporting me, that's the point, and then you get a sticker for free, essentially. And Teespring with some really cool t-shirts that I'm gonna switch up a little bit over there. It looks like there's like standard, and then there's like a little bit better, and then there's premium. We're on the little bit better right now, so I'm gonna move it down to premium because I think the premium is the next level, the shirts made by the company Next Level, and I really like the way they fit. Chomper remembered to use my affiliate links today. Thank you, brother. Very, very cool of you. Stuck in Trees loves the shirt. This is one of my favorite Stephen Hawking's quotes. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. And 2021 has been a lot of change for me. So, yeah, hopefully I'm intelligent enough. Zach says, why is there half a quad next to your door frame? Most of the rigs up there are blown up. So yeah, that's a rig that I gave away. I gave away a working version of this in a giveaway a long time ago, and I saved the broken arm, the two broken arms that I had, the broken base plate and the broken top plate. For the wall. There was a time when the wall was filled with quads. They were all broken. They were all like prototypes or broken or whatever. I've kind of slimmed that down quite a bit, but yeah. Cool. Caught up on chat. Yeah. So on the stream yesterday or the day before, somebody said, "What's a day in the life of Ciotti look like?" And I explained it on the stream, but then this morning, when I was thinking of what to stream about today, I thought, hey, I'll throw the live stream on when I'm just doing the stuff that you guys typically don't see. So fair warning, this will probably be the most boring stream ever, but hey, I stream every day, and eventually I run out of ideas. So here you go. Here's your daily stream. Fill the chat up with questions. I will gladly do, Q&A. But yeah, I'm just gonna be like knocking out some what I refer to as admin stuff. Yeah, first things first. I'm going to try to fly golden hour here today because it's gorgeous out here in Atlanta. So I've got to get a couple of batteries on the charger, and I do that over there. Let me make sure that my pants are pulled up so that I don't moon you guys. And hopefully the microphone picks up my voice. It's probably going to be very echoey, but that's okay. And I'm going to try to also kind of like talk you guys through this. Not that there's much to talk through with charging, but so the plan for flying today, yeah, look at that, I'm on camera and everything. The plan for flying today is going to be more testing with the high-speed rig. So big batteries are going on the charger, and they're going to go on there at 15 amps. If I have more than like 4 big 6S batteries hooked up, I will run this thing. This is a M6D Toolkit RC charger, which the screen is really falling apart on. There's like a big area of the screen that doesn't work. The screen keeps falling off. But I mean, the charger works fine, so whatever. Yeah, I'll run this thing at full meat and potatoes, 15 amps if I have more than like 4 big 6S 1000 mAh batteries, and the batteries don't even get a little bit warm. And realistically, if the batteries aren't getting warm, you're not doing any damage to them. Damage to batteries, the majority of damage to batteries happens because of heat. So yeah, there's that. A couple of smaller batteries here, a couple of 1000 mAh 6S's, and then the big boys, 2200 mAh, 1800 mAh, and a 1600 mAh over here, and then a 1450 as well. I'm actually really hoping that in the mail is my Pyro drone order, because that means I've got a Tattoo R-Line 1400 mAh 6S, which I'm really hoping is going to be like the battery for this guy here. These 1800s and 1600s and 2200s were an experiment, but they're just way too heavy. I mean, it's just crazy how heavy they are. It's a high-speed rig, not a long-range rig, so runtime isn't that much of an issue. It's all about performance. And these massive, heavy batteries just kill the performance of the quad. Like, just going into corners, it doesn't want to turn. And that's not good, just because it's got so much weight, so much fatness. The problem with the lower mAh batteries, though, is that they typically don't have the, they kind of can't keep up. They sag down so badly that, that you can't really run them super hard for more than like a half a second at a time. And that's not, and that's no good. So I gotta basically find, what I'm trying to figure out is what's the lowest mAh that I can get within reason, that's gonna have enough discharge rate for this guy. So 15 amps, what? I don't even know you could change that. That's pretty cool. 15 amps starting, away we go. And I just farted right in my own face. So there's that. In the chat, Zach Silvestri asks why we got that. Huckleberry says hello. Stuck in Trees likes the shirt. Huckleberry says you should do a vlog, a day in the life of CiottiFPV. I mean, this is wow. Yeah, I mean, this is I just don't have time to do edited videos like that. They just take way too long and on YouTube and in the world, Jesus, it's too much. On YouTube and in the world, there's very little value to really good edited content like that. Content is completely disposable. Nobody ever watches the same thing twice, so it makes a lot more sense to put as little time as possible into your content, and then put as much content up as possible. I know that's not great for you guys, but it's just the situation that all of us content creators are in. And to try to go against that is a terrible idea, unfortunately, because you just, yeah, I mean, you're only screwing yourself over. So, yeah, that's never really going to happen, unfortunately, Huckleberry, but, yeah, this is as close as I can get you to that. Stuck in Tree says, when you waterproof your quad, do you need to do anything with the MMCX connectors on the VTX? I have no clue, Stuck in Trees. I don't waterproof any of my stuff. They're fairly waterproof, like, without any effort. And I just don't do a lot of flying. Jesus Christ. I just don't do a lot of flying. I just make it a point to not do a ton of flying. I don't make it a point, but I just don't have the opportunity to fly around water all the time. So, Athix was pissed today. Flying Baby Tooth, Ishi Nano on it. Couldn't fly 10 feet away. Found out it was in pit mode. That's super annoying. Copter612 says, and I just farted in my own face. Direct quote. Maniac FPV says, what's up? Johnny5 Smith says, my whoop is aggressively yawing when I do a power loop or just aggressively flying. What's the fix, my main man? I have no clue. You got to give me more than that, brother. Message me on CiottiFPV. Tell me like when it started, the full setup, anything you can. The big thing is, when did that start? If it's always done it, then it's probably just a whoop being a whoop. But yeah, tell me everything that you possibly can, and maybe I'll be able to troubleshoot that. Whoops are rough. The flight characteristics are pretty awful. What's up? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the goddamn best. Oh, it's too light. Damn it! This isn't the package I wanted. Wait, yes, it is. Hey, thank you. This. Well, actually, hey, here's a test for you guys. Here, just in case anybody's wondering why I'm putting that up. Check out the echo. All right, I'm gonna sit here. Check out the echo. Right, there's a bunch of echo right now. Echo, 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 echo. Now, listen to the difference. Sound deadening doesn't have to be expensive. Any kind of fabric works, right? Sitting in the same spot, echo, 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 echo. A little bit less, right? Apparently, it's very dusty. Johnny5 says, it's when I have a heavy battery in it. Yeah, that's just whoops being whoops, man. The yaw axis is the yaw axis has the least authority, so it's the weakest axis. So on a tiny whoop, like I've talked a bunch about on these streams, the number one, like in the list of problems, at the top of that list for tiny whoops is a lack of power, and the yaw axis being the hardest axis to manage, it requires the most power. So yeah, that's the issue. 0802 25,000 kV motors are your best bet, and Newbie Drone gold batteries, either the 250s or the 300s. That's kind of all you can do until we get like an 0902 motor maybe. Although, yeah, I mean, for the most part, you just sort of have to fly around it, because even going to like an 0902 motor, it's just gonna kill the battery life. Like, like tiny whoops are in a really rough place in terms of in terms of performance, because we really can't add any weight. Like, they're at the weight that they should be. I mean, hell, I would like them to be even lighter, to be able to accurately fly down hallways that are like this wide and shit, you know? So yeah, it's really, really difficult with the tiny whoops. Pyrodrone box, let me not face the address towards you guys. We've got some of the 50-50, what are these even? I got more of the 55-52s in black for the high-speed rig. That's one of the reasons that I needed them. Most importantly, though, I've got some LED props. I need to get the batteries, but these are the version 2 Gemfan Moonlight LED props in red. So I'll pick up some batteries maybe on my way back from flying if I can remember. I won't remember. And here it is, brand new Tattoo R-Line version 4.0 6S 1400 mAh battery. Little expensive. I wish. I mean, it makes sense. $40 is a fair price for it. Of course, I wish it was a little bit less, but hey, you gotta pay to play, man. All right, so we're good. Here's this, and that goes over there. Let's take a look at this battery. Oh my god, there was a lot of fucking dust. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Woo! Let's get this battery on a scale. That's the biggest thing that I'm interested in. R-Line batteries are the best that I've found in terms of like performance to weight, basically. So let's see what this thing tips the scales at, as a boomer might say. Alright, and let's get this stupid balance lead protector off of here, because it's just dead weight and dumb looking. Does anybody use these? I have about 10,000 of them. I saved them for a long time. Here we go! Wow, not bad. 220 grams. Wow, that's really light for a 1400 mAh 6S. 220 grams. Not bad, man. That's a 1400 130C. They claim. The C ratings never really mean anything. Very cool. Everybody has their own. Each manufacturer has their own way of measuring C ratings, and so it's about as meaningless as the tread wear ratings on tires. There's no standardization to it, so Tattoo could just say 200C, and like there'd be nothing to stop them. So yeah, C ratings on batteries mean nothing. You just have to buy them and fly them. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to know, I should say. All right, big tall box for this battery. I've never seen a Tattoo box this big before. That's what she said. Okay, what do the levels look like here? Music's down nice and low. Okay, cool. So let me drop the music down just a little bit more, and let me get caught up on Discord. I got a couple of messages here. I'll show you guys because I don't think there's anything bad in there. Your Majesty said, "Awesome, thanks. That makes so much sense about the KV. What would that mean if I had 3 5,000 kV and 1 7,500 kV motor? Could I run them all?" Absolutely. And then, okay, I'll save the 1804 as I actually just got the, oh my god, 2004 2400 kV, but that sounds too low for 4-inch. It certainly is. Maybe for long range it would be okay. Alright, so let me reply back here to Your Majesty. The PID loop So I'm going to reply to his first question, which was, would that mean if I had 3 5,000 kV motors and 1 7,500 kV motor, could I run them all? The PID loop, and so my answer is going to be the PID loop / error correction, because that's what we're calling it now, right? PID loop doesn't mean anything. Error correction means something. The PID loop / error correction runs at 4,000 or 8,000 times per second. So mixing motors is no problem at all. The lowest kV motor will basically be no, the lowest kV motor will limit the whole system to that amount of power. And the since the PID loop runs, oops, not tons, runs so fast, it easily controls that. And then the other question, too low for 4-inch. Yes, 2400 kV will definitely be too low for 4-inch props. On anything other. If you want any amount of performance, but with long range, there's pretty much no performance to be had or reason for performance, so they would definitely work for that. All right, cool. And then ASR and I have been talking here. Some of the info, I got some drawings for you. Just ordered a 3D printer. Use your affiliate link on Amazon. Wanted to see if it worked. Nice. Thanks so much, man. Super cool of ya. All right, so ASR and I are going to be doing a little bit of frame design work. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that I get caught up on the chat, or stay caught up on the chat, I should say. Where was I, is the question. Here we go. Athix says, you forgot the lava lamp. I'll kick that out in a second. Tommy Brickler says, you can get a heavy moving blanket from Amazon real cheap. Would probably do even more. I have a bunch of them, actually. They're just so ugly. But yeah, they do work incredibly well. And FPV Republic is in the house, as is Marcel Off-Axis FPV. All right, now we're caught up. So yeah, we're gonna do some things. Oh god, I gotta get this on the charger. Ooh, good. These batteries are still at like 3.8. Did you know that you can just sneak a battery on into the charger? Which is what I'm going to do right now. As long as the other batteries are at a similar voltage. You don't want to like plug one in that's really low. Or really high. But yeah, that was just me sneaking an extra battery onto that, onto the charger. So yeah, we're gonna do some frame work, and we're gonna use the CB3 as our not target, but like, yeah, target. This is, in my opinion, the best 3-inch frame that's ever been made. It never made it out of prototyping phase, unfortunately. This is the frame that I always tell you guys that I spent tons and tons and tons of time working on with the original version of Rotorius before the company changed hands, and a lot of things changed. So yeah, I've begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded for this frame to be made from the new owner of Rotorius, and I've just gotten blown off time and time again. And I'm sick of having this frame and not being able to get it to you guys, basically. So I'm gonna take some top-down pictures of it on this grid here, and ASR says that he can then put those into 3D, and we'll make some changes. Like, we're just gonna use this geometry as a starting point, you know, and yeah. We will make the best 3-inch frame of all time, basically. Which sounds crazy, but it's the truth. So this is just, right here, what I'm just doing is getting the, so I'm gonna have to use calipers to get like the exact measurements on a lot of this stuff, but what I want to get for him is just something top down, hopefully with the least amount of lens distortion as possible. So I'm being really careful here to get the camera exactly vertical, and the way that you do that is on the left and right sides of the screen. You line up the grid. If the grid is doing this, you're at an angle like that. If the grid is doing that, you're at an angle like this. I need to be dead perfectly top down. And let me get him a little bit of a closer shot here. Quite even. There we go. All right, cool. So let's see how that is. Let me grab the calipers, and I'm going to take another couple of pictures using the caliper to show some of the measurements, and then yeah, we'll see what he can do. And then there's going to be, I'm going to have prototypes cut with CNC Madness up in Canada. And if you want to get in on the prototype testing, I'll sell them to you at cost. And then, yeah, once we get it dialed in all the way, we can have it, I'll figure out who I'm going to have cut it. For real. CNC Madness they're really good for doing like short run stuff, but their carbon is not the best quality compared to some of the other guys. So yeah, I won't use them for the final cutting. Basically what I'll do is just message Kebab and ask him who he's currently using, because he's done a shitload of research on carbon fiber manufacturers, and yeah. So, wow, it's funny. There's a lot of round numbers here. Which makes a lot of sense. We are going to change the arm end design here to be the devil horns, because they definitely protect the motors a lot better. But again, just getting some rough numbers for, yeah, to kind of base the geometry off of. And I think this is 3 mil thick, but let's just, yeah, It's only 3.2 because it's painted. All right, cool. Arm is good to go. Tiago says black on black will make it difficult part cutting in the software. That's why I'm using the calipers. He says, and you don't need a caliper on the part. It just needs to be in the picture. So that's what I thought too. But ASR said that even if I shoot it properly on the grid, it's going to be way better if I can caliper stuff to give them exact measurements. So that is what I'm doing. And I mean, we're just going to change a lot of this stuff anyway, but still, ASR has not asked for any compensation. If he does, that's totally cool, and we'll work something out. But right now, if he's not going to ask for compensation, then I'm going to just go crazy to try to make it as simple as possible. You know what I mean? So this is sort of my attempt to do that. And just give him as much data as I can. And it doesn't really take very long, you know? Like this is pretty easy stuff here. Sure would be a lot easier if Rotorius would just cut this, because they do have the CAD files, right? Like the CAD files do exist. But hey, I tried. Believe me, I tried. Yeah, I think my assumption is that, well, let me not take this measurement. I think he'll be able to extrapolate those measurements from the outside. We'll find out. If he needs more measurements, I'm sure he'll let me know. All right. I got that one. And then let's go lengthwise. Yeah, my assumption is that with the images, he can then drop that into the software and then input some of these dimensions, and hopefully it will, yeah, become magic. That really only has those 2 dimensions, and then here is our X plate. When I get this X plate cut, I'm gonna get it cut with the weave going in the diagonal, which will be even stronger. So yeah, it'll be even better than this one. And I haven't had any issues with this X plate with the weave going up, down, left, right. So yeah, maybe we can slim this down even more, I'll bet. Save a little bit more weight. Okay, 44.85. All right, good deal. Yeah, it's tough to get like center to center measurements, so I'm hoping that the software can maybe fill in some of the blanks, perhaps. We'll find out. But there is a whole bunch of measurements for ASR. Let's see how far that will get us. Because yeah, this frame is this is the removable arm CB3, and it's just magic. It really is. I've been flying it for a long time, just providing more and more feedback, and just asking for literally years, just asking over and over again for it to be produced. To no avail. So it's time to take things into my own hands. Okay, so we've got a far shot, a close-up, And then we've got these guys. There, there. Here. Ah, shit. How did one of those become a... How did one of those become a video? What the hell? Oh, come on. Really? I can't upload them all at once. Oh, come on, Discord. Hook a brother up. Guys, look at that. Look at this beautiful sticker on the bottom of my phone. How are you living without that? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 images. Send those. Okay. So the first 4 are going. Done. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. 1, 2, 3. Send those. Oh, it's funny, they're popping up.
If your friends haven't told you, McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are back. The ones made with spicy tempura and aged cayenne. But before you go telling friends, make sure you get them first. Order ahead on the McDonald's app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's.
I'm Chef G. Garvin, and I grew up watching my grandmother prepare meals for the entire family. My grandma's hands left.
So I'm not going to give an option to use them. Not to mention that in order to use those boards, you have to. Those boards are just a terrible shape for micros. So it really cripples your frame design because you have to add a bunch of carbon. Yeah, it's just bad. And then they fly like hell because you've got all these motor wires connected to them. So for me, I'm not going to make a frame that allows you to build it with an AIO that's going to fly like shit. I'm going to force you to use a 20x20 stack because that's going to fly much better. And quite frankly, I don't want people to buy this frame and then have it fly like ass and complain. I would rather force you to build it the right way, the better way, and have something that works better. So, yeah. Sorry if you're diehard on AIOs, but I'm going to leave you with this. An AIO is no easier to build than a 20x20 stack. The only difference is that with a 20x20 stack, you have to take a ribbon cable and you have to go, and then you have to go with the other side of it, and that's it. That is the only advantage of an AIO over a 20x20 stack. And then the list of disadvantages is like 10 feet long. AIOs are not the way. AIOs should only be used on toothpicks because that is the only frame design that benefits from the AIO, but I would still not do it because a 20x20 stack and a toothpick is going to perform miles better, and the end. And it's going to crash better, and there's nothing but benefits to doing a 20x20 stack versus an AIO. I just keep crossing my fingers that the AIO craze will die because it's just bad. It's just a bad design. It's a terrible design to have your gyro on the board with your battery leads and all your motor leads. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. And all of the problems that people have tuning toothpicks is mainly due to that. And yeah, I'm not gonna support that. It's just a bad idea to support it. Veritas Weasel says, can you use goggles with Velocidrone? You can, as long as you have HDMI out on your computer, that you can then run up into the goggles. I've never done it because my computer is so old that it doesn't have HDMI out. LCVFPV says most AIOs are lighter than most 20x20s. No. Typically, because you're putting the same amount of stuff on it, right? the AIO might be like 1, maybe 2 grams heavier, or lighter, but I will take a rig that crashes better, flies better, tunes better, over a 1 or 2 gram weight penalty absolutely any day of the week. Yeah, it's well, you know what? Let's see. Let's see what the weight difference really is, because I haven't looked in a while. Oh, you know what? Oh, well, this isn't going to be a 1-to-1, but this will at least get us in the ballpark. So, if it was like a 10 gram weight difference, I think there might be some merit to it. But the weight really doesn't matter. Having your gyro on the same board with all of those heavy gauge wires is just, no matter what, gonna be a much worse flying rig. Like, saving a couple grams is absolutely not worth the decrease in performance. So where are we at? 7.4 there. This is a JHE MCU. This is a pretty thin PCB, so this is probably one of the lighter weight AIOs. So 7.4 versus 3.8, call it, yeah, 3.8. Here's the problem. This has this battery lead on it, and so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So absolute worst case scenario, it's a 4 gram difference, but this wire and XT30 probably weighs at least 2 grams. So hold on, let me see if I have an XT30 with roughly that same amount of wire. Oh, look at that, I do. Oh, look at that, I do. Okay, so 11.7 versus 9.7. Perfect. So 9, 10, 11, 3 grams. Looks like I was pretty much dead on the money, which is kind of scary because I haven't, I don't know if I've actually ever weighed them. I was just sort of using like logic, right? Like, whether or not you have one PCB versus 2 doesn't really matter if one PCB is gigantic and the other one is broken out into 2 PCBs. So yeah, 3 gram weight penalty for to save money, to have a better flying rig, and I mean, just those 2 right there. I mean, that's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, down with AIOs. Hashtag fuck AIOs. They're just a nightmare. They're just an absolute nightmare. And like, it's great that there's this H7 beast and all that doesn't seem to blow up anymore. But when it does blow up, you're out $80 versus, yeah. So it's the list of negatives to AIOs is very long, and I hope they go away as soon as possible. I think they turn a lot of people off of this hobby too. One of the most recent guys that I was speccing parts out for specifically told me that he bought, I forget what it was, but it was a 2.5-inch rig with an AIO, and the AIO blew up on the first battery, and he almost quit. He almost quit the hobby because he was just so fed up with it. Like, he'd had a couple problems previously, and he said, "Okay, let me just do a bind and fly." And yeah, and I don't want people to quit the hobby. You know, like that's not good. All right, getting caught up on the chat. Espander says you can scan it for an almost perfect result. Yeah, if I had a scanner, I would. Or if I still worked in an office where I could use a scanner at the office, I would. Abraham is here. Maniac says, check out Woodchuck FPV CNC cutting. Are they in the US? Maniac, if you're still here, dropping them into. All right, cool. I've got them opened in a tab now, so that I don't forget. Copter 612 says, "Yo, in my honest opinion, God has by far the best carbon out there." I don't know about that. I've the camera cage is starting to come apart on my Moon Goat, and there's not even a mark in it. So yeah, I don't, and there's a lot of Moon Goat arms that are kind of breaking, so I'm not too sure about that. The other thing is, like, carbon fiber sort of is carbon fiber. I mean, there are shops that do a specifically bad job with it, but almost all of the people that are cutting it are ordering it like pre, I guess you could call it pre-preg, but they're just ordering sheets of it and then just cutting the sheets. And I've talked to Bob at length about carbon fiber. You know, there's all these different grades, Torre, 300, 600, 800, and the long and short of it seems to be that it really doesn't make a difference for our use. We are just putting like big shock loads of energy into it, and the fancier carbon for the increase in cost doesn't really crash any better. I've been testing glides with Bob for about 2 years now, and there have been at least 10 different grades of carbon fiber that I've tested with him, and there's not a single one that held up any better than another one. I've got... This is what that testing looks like. This is all broken carbon fiber from glide testing, and there's some really beautiful fancy carbon fiber in here. There's some really janky looking carbon fiber in here, and nothing has crashed any better than any other grade. So the hot setup seems to be, don't get the shittiest possible sheets. Don't use the shittiest CNC company, and you're good to go. Like, you just go somewhere in the middle, and you're gonna maximize the cost to strength ratio, but at the same time, without the really shitty CNC cutters will not be precise enough, and then the frame will be hard to assemble because the tolerances will be off. Jonathan Stieber says, "Is the other side of the mat white?" Of this black mat, it is gray, but it is standard measurements. This side of the mat is metric. FPV Republic says, "Did you change your webcam setup? It's picking up a lot of vibration when you move stuff on the mat." Sort of. I added a little extension to this guy so that it looks straight down a little bit more, just in hopes that that you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I still don't have a great, I don't know. It's really hard to have a camera here that doesn't get in my way so that I can actually get work done, but at the same time that shows you guys what's going on. And I don't quite have the answer yet. But 99% of what I do is just using the gear that I've already got as effectively as possible. So going out and buying a better webcam is really not like in the cards, but I'm doing my best. Tiago says, "The method I use to convert pictures to CAD, that would be more difficult." Yeah, if ASR gets back to me and says it would be easier for me just to shoot it on white, I can very easily do that. Robert Andrews didn't tag me, but I just happened to see my name. He says, "Hey Ciotti, is it safe to put LiPo batteries with the same cell count on a parallel charging board to equalize the voltages before charging?" Robert, only if so first of all, only if you're using a Bardwell board or a Strix board that has the poly fuses in it. which looks like this. This is what the Bardwell... Oh, man. Joshua signed this at the at Quad Camp Atlanta 2.5 years ago with the whole power loop Matty flip under the tables inside the warehouse insanity that happened. And there's nothing left. That's pretty sad. But this is what the poly fuses look like. If you if your charging board does not have these poly fuses, you don't want to do this. But if it does have these poly fuses, what they do is they clamp to 1 amp, and they only let 1 amp pass through. So what I do when I get back from flying, I take my little cell checker and I put it on every battery, and I just look at the individual cell voltages. And I make sure that my individual cell voltages are between, for example, 3.5 to 3.7. A 0.2, so like most of them will be 3.6, some of them will be like 3.5 something, some of them will be 3.7 something. That split of like 0.2 is close enough where I can plug them all in to only the balance leads, because the poly fuses only function on the balance leads. I can plug all my 6S or all my 5S or all my 4S batteries into just the balance leads, and they will equalize one another, because the poly fuses, as soon as I plug each one in, the poly fuses on that one clamp down to 1 amp, and it'll only send or receive 1 amp from the other batteries. And you let it sit for like 10-15 minutes, they all equalize, and then you can plug it into the charger and charge them all up. That is kind of the only safe way to do it. Be careful doing that. The biggest thing, though, is that if you plug a fully charged battery at 4.2 per cell into that with another battery that's like 3.8 per cell, those poly fuses are going to get the shit kicked out of them, and they're probably going to blow up. So it's really important that you check the batteries before you put them onto that board. And then every time you plug a balance lead in, you want to just like relax for a second. You can what I do is I put my finger on the poly fuses, and if you feel the poly fuses starting to warm up, get it unplugged right away. Those poly fuses should not get hot. The new Bardwell boards have heat sensitive paint on those poly fuses, so you can see them turn red when they get hot. That's the way to safely do it. As a reminder, if you guys want to talk directly to me, all you've got to do is type CiottiFPV with no spaces. If you do that, your comment will light up in orange. I thought I installed a... I did install... Somebody told me about an extension that will filter more in the chat, and it doesn't seem like it's working. YTC filter, it's called. YouTube chat filter. Why is it not working? It's supposed to light up any instance of the word Ciotti. Support related. Well, what the hell? Can't read or changes site data. So it's weird. It does work when I'm on someone else's chat, but it doesn't work for my own chat, thus making it completely worthless. What the hell? What the hell is this that I just clicked? Oh my god, the computer's having a fucking crisis. Create QR code for this page. Yeah, what the fuck kind of an option is that? Why is that an option taking up space in my top bar? Above the live chat on YouTube. Yeah, it's... What the hell, man? I guess it doesn't work if I pop the chat out. That's the... I hate everything I... I give up. It's, nothing ever works, so why would this be any different? Veritas says, thanks. Espander says, AIOs suck. When something pops, the whole thing is gone. Yep, that's one of the many big problems with them. Abraham says, I don't want AIOs to go away at all. I just want them to be better. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the only thing that they can improve on them is for them to not blow up. But they're always going to blow up. So they're... Yeah, I mean, it's just... You just can't make them better. You can't, like, by their very nature... they're going to have thick gauge motor wires and thick gauge battery wires connected to them. The only way to fix that problem would be to put a PDB, is to run a PDB underneath them, at which point you might as well run a 20 by 20 stack. So yeah, like AIOs just by their very, and like AIOs are not a new thing. Like we've had AIOs for like 4 or 5 years and they've always flown horrible. I've got this is FPV Cycle's very first quad called the Flow Ride, and I've got this one built, and I sent Brad one as well with an AIO in it, an old school 30 by 30 AIO, and they fly horrible because they have heavy battery leads and heavy motor leads connected to them, and that's a 5-inch rig. So yeah, AIOs just by their very nature are never going to be good, and if people are willing to settle for bad flight performance, just so that they don't have to go with a breakout connector, then I guess AIOs will stick around. But I really hope that people kind of wake up a little bit and realize that it's ruining frame design and it's killing performance. And like so okay, so the weight difference, here I just realized something. So 3 gram weight difference, right? But in order to set a frame up to have an AIO, I guarantee you the amount of extra carbon that you have to add to it will total up to 3 grams of extra carbon. So if not more, I would actually bet that it's more. I would bet that AIOs as a total package end up causing the frame to weigh more. Not the frame, the full quad to weigh more. So you get a heavier rig with worse flight performance. See where I'm going? They're just bad. They've been around forever. I've tried them over and over and over again. Like I've tried AIOs in 5-inch rigs and 3-inch rigs and like a lot over the years. And every single time I've regretted it. Maniac says, yes, they're in the USA. Thanks, brother. Xenakis is in the house. He says, nice new layout in the room. Thanks, dude. Everybody go check out FPV Exchange or I will stab you right in the eye. You know, your choice. I warned you. Let me show you guys something. I actually listed some stuff over on FPV Exchange today. Somehow I misclicked twice in a row. Look at this. I put some stuff in here. Here's my inventory. I put these two 3B 2306 motors up here, a couple of t-shirts, and of course I've still got the STP M3 stick ends up there as well. It's just so easy. Like here, well, hold on. Is there anything else that, I should have done this on the stream. Is there anything else that I can put up? Well, I'll just pretend like I'm gonna, so I've got, okay. This True RC antenna. I've decided that I don't want this anymore. I go up to the search, just go to the main page, right? I go to the search, True RC Stubby. Do the quick search. It shows me all these options. This is the one that I've got. I click here. There's a button that says have one to sell. I click that. It opens this. How much do I want to charge? $10. I have one. The willingness to sell is set to private by default, but I'm going to move it up to must sell because I really want to sell it. This is already turned on. Condition is you. Actually, the condition of this thing is new. New condition. Don't have box, but never used. And that's it. That's all you have to do. There it is. Now it's for sale. Like, come on. Look around your room, find a bunch of stuff that you're not using at the moment, do that, and maybe somebody will give you money for it, and then you can buy another motor that you're going to use. It's just silly, man. It's just so easy to use, and not to mention that when you go to sell that, well, like here, for example, right? These 3B hobby motors. Look who I'm in here with. Like, I'm in here with Newbie Drone, and I'm showing up above Newbie Drone. That's where you ain't gonna get that from Facebook Marketplace. The other really cool thing is, like, if you just search for an item, right? You can see everybody that sells it. Like, this 3B motor is only sold in 2 different spots, and that's why you're seeing it here. But you can also, like, price shop. Like, look, this 3B motor is only, well, I think that's my listing for 15 bucks. But you can price shop between different manufacturers. Like, that's pretty cool. And you can see, like, where stuff is in stock, right? Like, sometimes Google just doesn't work. Like, well, let's see. If I drop that into Google, let's see if it finds it. It finds it on Newbie Drone. Eventually, it finds it on Banggood. Yeah, so those are the 2. Just go do it, or else you're gonna get hit in the head with a metal folding chair. I'll do it if I have to. Unsolicited commercial for FPV Exchange, because I really do, I really do believe in it. And every time I use it, I'm just like, oh god, this is so good. Frankly, IDC says, where do you get your cool hex standoffs from? Previously, I got them from Ready Made RC, but they're out of stock. I kind of bought them out of stock a little bit on them. I didn't do that totally on purpose, but it just kind of happened. I think you can get them on, like, eBay, though, maybe even Amazon. Veritas Weasel says, dead cells blow poly nuts. Yeah, dead, that is the other, thank you, Veritas. I don't know why you said nuts, but when you're checking your batteries with your cell checker before you plug it into the balance board, you got to look out for dead cells. I mean, you should know that, because if you're flying a battery and it drops a cell, like, you can tell, right? Because a 6S becomes a 5S, or a 4S becomes a 3S, right? So, like, you should already know that. But yeah, when you plug your cell checker in, you do want to make sure that there's no dead cells. Although, I also use the board to bring those dead cells back to life. If I do have a battery with a dead cell, I do this, like, on top of a Kevlar bag while I'm staring at it, because you got to be careful doing this. But I'll plug one battery in that's at, like, 3.6 or 3.7 per cell, and then I'll take the battery with the dead cell and I'll plug that in, and I'll just sit there and I'll hold both of the batteries to make sure that they don't get hot. And yeah, it'll at 1 amp, it'll pull that dead cell back up, and then you just monitor it. You monitor I'll pull that battery with the dead cell off pretty quickly, hook the checker back up to it, and look at what voltage that dead cell has been brought back up to. And I'll try to bring that dead cell back up to, like, 3.5-ish, and then I'll leave the I'll put that battery up here where I can see it with the cell checker connected to it, and the cell checker will keep going round and round and round. And every time it hits that dead cell, like, let's say it's cell number 2, every time it hits that dead cell, I take a look and make sure that the voltage isn't dropping again. If the dead cell is fully deceased, it'll just bleed off voltage, and it'll drop down 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, 3.1, 3.0, 2.9. And if that's the case, that battery is done. Get it the fuck out of the house. But a lot of times I can bring it back up to 3.5 in that cell, and over the course of 10, 20 minutes, if it doesn't significantly drop its voltage, that cell, that battery is sort of like back to life. It's still hurt. That battery is going to be your shit battery. So like, you know, do some black marker on it. That's like your practice battery. Also be careful with that battery because there has been some damage done to that cell. But yeah, that's my full sort of battery back to life method. Robert Andrews says, thanks for the help. You're certainly welcome. Athix says, want to climb a ladder hooked on a guide wire. That's what I'm about to do. Cable guy stuff. Oof, creepy. Creepy. I hate climbing ladders, but like I'm not afraid of heights. Like I climbed up that like 400 or 500 foot crane without even really thinking about it. Zanaka says, thanks, glad that it's slowly getting there. I'll merge the identical items, put them on one page, just finishing testing. Very cool. Random FPV says, how's that giant gray hair going? I think we should check with it and document its progress. It's still there. There's actually 2 of them right next to each other. Sons of bitches. Caught up on chat. Okay. What were some of the other things? So I'm caught up on Discord now. Exactly right. Alright, cool. Now I'm caught up on Discord. And batteries are getting there. What time is it? 3:40. Sun's still pretty high in the sky. We're good there. Oh boy. I just dropped that. Yeah. Let me ship some stuff. I'm a little bit behind on shipping because I was waiting for more purple bubble mailers, and they finally showed up. So let's. I'm very tempted to start playing around with the moonlight props, but I don't have batteries, so there's nothing I can really do with them. So I will resist the urge and get some actual work done. Matthew Kazmucha is getting his Tiny Whoop tier winnings sent to him. Let me grab my... I always throw extra stuff in for you guys because I just love you so much. So let me get my little pile of extra stuff here. Alright. Just basically like a bunch of stickers and whatnot, but hey. People like that sort of thing. Okay, so Matthew is gonna get his stuff. I've already got his label printed out here. And I'm like right on the brink of having an allergy attack from all the dust that I kicked up from that stupid ass floral patterned curtain, but seems to be just kind of holding on for dear life here. All right, Matthew, here comes some stuff for you. Matthew is on the $5 a month tier over on Patreon, which gets him entered into 2 Tiny Whoop and Toothpick giveaways per month. If you would like to join him on that tier, head on over to CiottiFPV.com, and there's a link to Patreon. I do this through Patreon so that A, I can get in touch with you people, but also B, so that you can, if you only fly Tiny Whoop, you can just go on the Tiny Whoop tier, BQE 2-inch pickpocket frame, canopy, and a little Caddx ant camera, so that, yeah, if you do win, you get stuff that you can use, rather than getting just something that you really didn't want, that you don't even fly that size rig, which kind of does you no good, right? Alright, so we're going to get a holographic CiottiFPV sticker thrown in there, and then we're going to get some T-motor stickers in there, and there's a FPV cycle sticker, and then of course we're going to throw in an FPV exchange sticker and business card, and there we go. On its way to its new home, it shall go. Hit me with those questions in the chat, boys and girls, so that I have something to talk about while I'm doing this admin-y kind of stuff. Come on. Come on. Really? You're gonna do me like that? And stick to yourself, you jerk. There we go. No. Come on. There we go. Okay, cool. Street Media says, got a Mobula 6 and one of the motors spins the wrong way. How can I remap it to spin the right way? Or do I need to mess with the wiring? Street Media, all you gotta do is hop into BL Heli. And then BL Heli, so the back right motor is motor 1, the right front motor is motor 2. If you pretend like you're driving the quad, right? If you pretend like you're gonna ride the quad, motor 1 is back right, motor 2 is right front, motor 3 is back left, motor 4 is left front. So just go into BL Heli and pick whichever motor is spinning the wrong way and reverse it in BL Heli, and you'll be back in business. Maniac FPV says, rip in the backyard, listening to you, man. Very cool, Maniac. Love. That's the beauty of the micro life, boys and girls. Being able to fly in your backyard. Zanaka says, you need to do a short on battery safety, man. Can't be stressed enough for everyone. Lipo fires and parallel boards can't be stressed enough. I'm very hesitant to do that, mainly because what I just described to you guys with the parallel board is kind of risky. It's tough. Like, if I ever did put like an official battery safety video out there, it would basically be, don't use a parallel board. Get an M6D, or there's also a quad port version of this charger. And just use that, because then the charger will monitor each individual battery and it will not overcharge a dead cell. So yeah, if just in case I didn't stress it enough, guys, all the stuff that I just talked about with the parallel board, like, do that shit at your own risk. Like, parallel boards are dangerous, straight up. Joshua's with the poly fuses is the safest of them, but it can still burn your house down. I typically try not to talk about the battery stuff because it's just too creepy, and I don't want to be the reason that somebody loses their home. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it on the streams when I'm charging batteries or when you guys ask me, but I don't know. I agree with you, Nevin, believe me, but I go back and forth because just parallel boards in general can cause some pretty scary shit to pop off. All right, this was the 5-inch tier. Travis Easterday won it. We're gonna send him all of this beautiful stuff: a scale, some 3D props, some skids. Oh, it's an SMA, okay. I thought this was a UFL antenna. I was like, I wish I'd known that the other night. There's a VTX and, speak of the devil, a balance board. I wonder if I can get this all into, no. I'm going to, here's a life hack for you. Moon your audience. If you go to USPS and you get these big-ass Tyvek guys, they say priority mail all over them. So if you mail it priority, you're fine. But priority's too expensive for me, so I turn it inside out. And it does say priority. I'll show you in a minute. Let me do this under the desk so it's a little bit less loud. It does say priority really small on it, on the inside here. And I have had one package get returned because of this, but I've probably sent out 50 of these like this with no problem. So yeah, you just flip it inside out and see, like, really small, it says priority. But yeah, it's like I said, I've done it a bunch and it's been totally fine. It's not padded, it's kind of a shitty envelope, it's just Tyvek. So don't ship anything like important in this, but hey, a little life hack for you if you're ever in need of a free packaging thing. The only other issue is they're made of Tyvek, so most clear tape won't stick to it. But this Ready Post clear tape that they sell at USPS does stick to it. So I bought a bunch of these. All right, Travis, here we go. In the chat, Drone Pilot says, I will never ever use a parallel board. Think of it this way, why don't you just connect 2 batteries together with every single wire and go fly? Because it will catch on fire. Yeah, not using parallel boards is definitely the safest way. I have used them for over 4 years and I've not had a single problem. But I'm a crazy person and like I take battery safety very, very serious, and I never, ever, ever just have that moment where I'm like, it'll be fine. If you, the second that you have that moment with a parallel board, you burn your fucking house down. That does not exist with parallel boards. So yeah, take that very seriously, boys and girls. If you're gonna use them and you ever start to feel that urge to say, it'll be fine. I mean, if that ever happens to you, throw the parallel board away. And never use a parallel board again. Because I promise you, it's not gonna be worth you burning your house down. Especially because Toolkit now has a somewhat cheap 4-port version of their charger. And like charging 4 batteries at a time at a high amp rate to get it done within 15-ish minutes is really not going to save you. You're not going to save any time with a 4-port charger banging away at like 2 or 3 or 4 amps per battery. A parallel board is not going to save you any time over that setup. And realistically, time is the only reason to use a parallel board, right? Time and I guess like convenience, but convenience kind of goes back to time. So yeah, if you're using parallel boards though, just be careful. And never ever ever have that moment where you're like, it'll be alright. It'll be fine. I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. And it's not you. I mean, you might know what you're doing, but these batteries are volatile. They're little mini hand grenades with the pin pulled at all times. And if you're not respecting them at that level, you are playing with fire. Wrapped up a little bit tighter than that. Oh wait, I almost forgot to put some stuff in it. Let's throw an OG Racecraft sticker in there, some T-Motor stickers. There's a Super Deluxe sticker. We'll throw that in there. And Ooh, an FPV earbuds sticker. And some FPV exchange love. Nevin, I have more stickers than business cards. I probably still have like 3 or 4 months worth of stickers left though. Just so you know. Slowing the doing bigger giveaways every other week has really helped me out. The weekly giveaways were really killing me. It was very time consuming, and I felt like I always had this monkey on my back of like stuff waiting to be shipped, people waiting to get back to me. So yeah, I know I'd mentioned a couple times that I was gonna try to get it back to a daily, or not daily, Jesus, a weekly giveaway, but I just don't think that's, I just don't think it's gonna happen. But the giveaways that I'm doing now have basically twice as much stuff, so I'm still giving away the same amount of stuff. I'm just giving it to less people, I guess, is one way to think about it, unfortunately. Kitten, are you clawing at the window, you little jerk? The kitten doesn't like that he can't. I mean, he doesn't like the fact that the doors are closed to begin with, but he really doesn't like that he can't see in here because of the curtain. I can hear him. I can hear him pushing on the door. All right, Travis Easter Days giveaway winnings are good to go. Abraham DM'd me his info on Patreon. Thanks, brother. Drone Pilot says, I'm an electrical engineer and I cringe at the thought of parallel charging. It scares me to hell. Athix says, I accidentally charged 3700 mAh 3S on 4S. That thing looked like a balloon and really hot. Charge wisely, safely with the correct settings. There you guys go. That battery could have shot, I mean, my God, 3700 mAh. That would have shot flame probably from like the floor to the ceiling. Not for long. When the flight test has a really good battery safety video from like 3-4 years ago, showing like how violent the explosions really are. Drone Pilot says, I'm having my first coffee. That sound of the paper drove me nuts. I'm not a morning person. Street Media says, thanks, bud. That's fine. That's fine. The job. You are welcome. Drone Pilot says, heck, I even built a 6S Whoop balance charger. I can safely charge and balance 6 lipos in series, not parallel. It cost me 1 6S balance lead and 6 battery plugs. That's it. Right, we are good. Let me ship 1 or 2 more things. What time is it? 3:56? All right. Let me see what time sunset is here. Oh no, wait, I want weather. Where the hell's my weather app? There it is. 6:25. Oh yes. Keep moving back, sunset. Give me more daylight, please. So that was the second beep on the charger. That means these batteries are done. Hold on. All right. So let's get these off here, and then I think I'm gonna fire up some 4S batteries in order to do a little bit of Cinewhoop flying and testing. So let's get that rolling here. All right, charge done. Stop. Everybody's happy. Everybody's cool. All right. Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say about parallel charging is it's like your whole sort of battery, you have to have like a workflow almost with your batteries in order to safely balance charge. You have to pay, like, including when you're out flying and you fly a battery, if that battery doesn't fly normal, you have to pay attention. Like, you do not put that battery in with the other batteries. Like, that there's something going on. Maybe you just forgot to charge it. There's any number of things that could be wrong, but don't mean that the battery is unsafe. But like, yeah, you have to pay attention. You have to respect these things, and you have to stay on top of them if you're going to be using a balanced charger. So yeah, do that. If you fly a battery and it feels weird, put it aside. That does not go on the parallel board with everything else. Charge it by itself. If the next time you fly it, it seems okay, still charge it by itself 1 or 2 more times, and then you can bring it back into your normal rotation. But yeah, you just have to have like a little bit of a system not a system, but yeah, workflow in place. I'm farting right now, and it's horrible. I'm just gas clouding myself back to the 1800s. It's not gone well. I gotta be honest. I think I have to take a dump too. R-Line 1400. High hopes. High hopes. I mean, a day in the life also includes, taking shits and farting. So you're giving you guys the full experience, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Yeah. So I've got these little adapters that I use so that I can use this 6S board for 4S as well. And that's what I'm about to do here. Again, do this at your own risk. The worry with doing this is that you accidentally plug a 4S into a 5S or something like that. I find this little adapter to be the best way of making sure that I don't do that, because it's very clear all the way at the bottom is 6S and then 2 up is 4S. So with this little guy, I never plug the batteries into the wrong ports. Just another little thing that I've done to make this process a little bit safer. This battery is the odd battery out.
You can get up to $700 this month and make a
But I think it'll still fit. Yeah, look at that.
when you donate plastic
Cool. Directly into
and donate today.
fire safe bag. Alright, here are the Cinewoop 4S batteries. Also, something that I didn't do just now that I should have done, that I usually do, I've got this big fire safe bag here. Typically what I'll do is take the whole thing and put it into that fire safe bag, so that as it's charging, it's in there. But I forgot to. Well, here, I'm about to forget to do it again. Although these little 4S batteries are much less energetic when they explode, so it's not nearly as much of an issue, but still definitely an issue. Drone Pilot flies big ass quads with big ass batteries, and when those big batteries go, it is a sight to behold. So for him, it makes a lot of sense to be crazy vigilant. It's one of the things that I really like about micros, actually, is the fact that we really don't. The batteries, when they blow up, they just don't blow up all that hard. They barely shoot fire. They just basically shoot the smoke, and the smoke is like very noxious, but the smoke is not going to burn your house down. it's a lot of this is about like limiting the danger for me. If there's going to be danger, I want it to be I want there to, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to run these guys at 10 amps. We've got 1,000, 850, 850, 850, so about 4,000 milliamps total. So running it at 10 is basically like running it at sort of like 2.5 amps, which is very safe. And we'll get the job done quickly, but safely. So there you go. That's typically what I do right there, is just get the whole thing. So if the batteries start shooting fire, most of it is contained. The big thing that I don't want is if the batteries start shooting fire, I don't want the carpet. You know, the carpet is going to catch fire pretty quickly. This setup right here, there's Kevlar, Kevlar, Kevlar. So like the fire could go into this, but this is not just going to instantly catch on fire. And again, it's just micro batteries. So here we go. Cinewoop batteries on the charger. Let's ship something else. What do we got? Nevin! What did you win, Nevin? You won this, this, and this. And... Alright, cool. Some Cinewoop props. Nevin, do you need anything? Do you need me to throw anything else in this package here? Ooh, I can do this with a little package, or a little mailer. Oh my god. Oh, what a mess. Better. Alright, here we go. Hey, look at the chat. Drone Pilot says, love my tattoo R-Line V3 1400 6S. Monsters in disguise. The amps they can supply and stay cool is crazy. Pull well over 100 amps and it doesn't phase them. Lipo bag each. Awesome, Drone Pilot. I remember you mentioned that when I'd mentioned that I ordered that. I can't wait to pound on this thing today. Oh my god, he's got 10 of them. Tiago says, check the Discord for the internals of my parallel charger. It has tons of poly fuses. Very cool. Drone Pilot also says, here I am typing out the current I pull and you're talking about me, LOL. Abraham says, love that longboard paint scheme. Is that a longboard Larry deck? No, that is a Barfoot. Chuck Barfoot. Barfoot is the name of the company that makes the board. The design, though, is Donald Takayama. Donald Takayama is an OG surfboard designer, and this is like a special edition I almost said Bardwell. I just said the board manufacturer a second ago. Barfoot. Yeah, the board is. I don't think Barfoot is around anymore, but yeah, this is a Donald Takayama special edition made by Barfoot with these crazy revenge trucks. Very elegant, very unique truck design that gives you a shitload of steering. Wow, it's really hard to show you guys that. Wait, I can show it from this side. This will really show the amount of deflection. Look at that. Oh, god damn it. Bottom of the board's moving around and shit. I have you can get different stiffness urethane on this. But yeah, it's a really neat design. It's just one big chunk of urethane and then the metal, and then it just locates, and you can see the stop, right? When it goes over, that metal catches that metal, and that's what stops it. Wait, no, I gotta show you guys like that. There it is. See the stop? It goes metal to metal, and then it centers. And then you can adjust, with the kingpin bolt, you adjust how much you compress the urethane insert. And then there's a couple different durometers on those urethane inserts, so that you can have it be really loose or a little bit tighter. This is the one, I think this is the stiffness in the middle. That's actually Kristen's board. When I started longboarding, she was cool enough to get in on the madness. And it's been a long time. I got into longboarding right when I was like 29, and I pretty quickly dislocated my shoulder. I got into downhill longboarding, where you wear slide gloves with pucks on them, and you put your hands down to get weight off the board, and that would allow you to rotate the board out and slide the board sideways. Since skateboards don't have brakes, and yeah, one of the slide pucks on my left hand caught a crack in the road, and my hands were up. I was laying down, my hands were up, and I'm going like 40 miles an hour this direction, and the crack in the road came up like this, caught the slide puck, and just ripped my shoulder out of joint, like real bad. They were very close to putting me under. They couldn't get it to go back in. They couldn't get my shoulder to go back in joint into the socket or whatever. And they called two of the security people just for more muscle, and they said, all right, we're going to give this one more shot, and if we can't get it back in, we're going to have to put you under to be able to let your rotator cuff relax so that we can get the damn thing back in. And one of the security guards wrapped a bed sheet around my chest and stood on this side, and the other security guard grabbed my wrist with both hands on that side. And what happens is your rotator cuff is all these little tendons and little muscles, right? And when your shoulder pops out, your body tries to pull it back in. So your body, it all tightens up. And when it tightens up, now it gets in the way. So you've got a ball and a socket, and then this rotator cuff of tendons and shit. So they get all tight, and then they get in the way, and your shoulder can't go back in. So what they have to do is pull it out. They have to pull it away to get the rotator cuff to relax. And it was pretty violent. It was the only time in my life that I've ever screamed as loud as I can with no control. I was in a fucking hospital. There were people everywhere. There's other patients, and there I am. As if someone was actually killing me. It was crazy. 3 months. It took 3 months to repair all that damage with... I think I was doing physical therapy every other day. Yeah, it was... Oh, no, it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday at a physical therapy place for an hour. It was my lunch break. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the time I was working at Disc Makers, the best job I've ever had and probably will ever had. Although this job is pretty close. But yeah, that was fucking crazy. They did get it in. The two security guards fucking, and I just and then the doctor was like, okay, wham, and oh god, the noise that it made. It sounded like it sounded like somebody took a wooden mallet and smacked it into I don't even know. It was just that noise that some people can make really loud with their tongue, that noise. You guys know what noise I'm talking about, right? You ever meet somebody that can make that noise really loud? That noise, multiply that volume by like a factor of 10, and that was the noise that it made when it went back in. It was the grossest thing that's ever happened to me. The grossest thing that has ever happened to me, like surrounding... No, I was about to say surrounding my body, but no, just full stop. The grossest thing. Carlos Botros with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. What's your opinion on the pizza packs from China Hobbyline? What are the pizza packs? I'm not familiar with pizza packs. Is that just the orange batteries, the Mini Star orange ones? They seem okay. China Hobbyline batteries are awful heavy. I used them way back when I was on 4S, and they were really cheap and they were really durable. I really liked the white ones back then. But I've moved away from them just because they're so damn heavy. The Tattoo R lines are so much lighter, and they sag less, and they're not that much more expensive. So I just suck it up and pay for them. Damn, Zanakis of FPV Exchange supporting your boy CiottiFPV with a $50 super chat. If you guys don't all go on FPV Exchange right now, I'm gonna burn your fucking house down. Straight up. I'm gonna burn your shit down. Fuck battery safety. I will arson your house if you don't all go on FPV Exchange right now. He says, Ciotti explaining traction counteraction like a boss. Let's get into some insurance, peeps. Is that what that's called? Traction counteraction? Nevin, tell us a story about the grossest traction counter traction that you've experienced. If you guys don't know, Nevin works in... Do you work in emergency rooms, right? Or do you? Nevin is like a legit doctor. Like not only has he designed FPV Exchange, but like he goes to work and like straight up saves people's lives every day. So as if you needed another reason to check out FPV Exchange, there's another reason for you. Support the people that are putting their life on the line during COVID-19 to save other people, right? Damn, dude. Thank you, Nevin. Very, very cool. Corolla says, nah, it's the new ones that just came out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't used a China Hobbyline battery in a long time. I mean, I have that one. I have that one white 6S 2200, but that's really it. And, like, I can't really... I mean, it's great. It weighs, like, half a ton. But it's totally fine. A battery with that kind of milliamp, though, it's going to be completely invincible forever. But I still can't believe how heavy it is. All right, there we go. Nevin gets his winnings. Let me scroll back up. I feel like I might have missed a couple super chats. Maniac says, just put it in the pool. Patrick FPV says, show me your QX7 Tweed FPV grips. Can't figure out where the smallest one goes. I think I know exactly which one you mean. And I didn't know either. So don't even feel a little bit bad. It goes up there. Yeah, I had no idea. And I threw the one away, I think. The one of them is, I just can't find it. But yeah, they go up there. So that when you're up here, it gives your middle finger something to kind of grab onto. If you're a pincher. If you're a thumber, I guess it gives your index finger something to hang on to. But yeah, for me, it's, the other thing that's cool about this, it seems like not much, but it's a tactile thing. Like you can push your middle finger into the collar of this, but otherwise, like, your middle finger can kind of move around a little bit. Having the grip tape there, you can feel it. So like, your finger just kind of tends to go there, and that way your finger is in the same spot every time, so that if you need to disarm, well, I'm usually up for armed. If you need to disarm, you don't fumble for it because your finger is in a weird spot. Your finger is in the exact same spot every single time, and if you need to disarm, it's just the same motion every single time. So yeah, it works really, really, really well. Okay. Oh, Nevin, I forgot. I forgot to put stickers in. I forgot to put FPV Exchange stickers in Nevin's giveaway winnings. Oh, that's perfect. All right, William Barlow. We're gonna package this up as well. William gets a shirt that was very kindly sent over by Rick Zapata and Nevin from FPV Exchange. Actually, they worked together to make these really cool shirts with my logo on the back, which you can only get by joining my Patreon and entering the giveaways. I do not have this design on Teespring because I didn't design it. Okay, where am I at in the chat here? Maniac F50 says, just put it in the pool. Zanakis says, I thought it was just a digital download. It was, I think it's also the Tweet FPV grips. Was it the Super Chat giveaway? Yeah, it was the Super Chat giveaway. So it's the Tweet FPV grips as well. It was the Tweet FPV grips, it was the shirt, which is what I re-rolled for, which is what William Barlow won. And yeah, Tweet FPV grips. So you can message tweet tweetfpv@gmail.com and get you a free set of grips. Unless you told me to re-roll for the grips, in which case William Barlow can do that. Freelo just says, reminds me of a double camber snowboard I got to ride once. I guess double camber is the OG style snowboards. I don't know much about snowboarding. Drone Pilot says, dislocated my left shoulder 4 times. Ugh. Yeah, dude, it is so true. It is nothing like Mel Gibson or Die Hard. Oh my God, what's his name? What's the main actor in Die Hard's name? Wow, why can't I think of his fucking name? Let me scroll down in the chat. Hurry up, somebody tell me what it is. Yeah, it is, I mean, it is... Bruce Willis, that's it. It is nothing like the movies. Nothing like Mel Gibson and banging him to the wall, get it back in there. First time in the hospital, all other times I managed to get it immediately. Yeah, the first time is always the worst. Left shoulder would never be normal again. I lay down, it hurts if I extend my arm. The sound is crazy. Stop it, that deep click sound. Yeah. One of the, my yoga routine starts with, I don't know what any of the stuff is. If you guys want to get into a better place mentally, just in general, like in your life, or if you struggle with depression or anxiety, or if you just want to get into better shape and be more flexible, look up Healthy Gamer. Can a moderator grab Healthy Gamer GG's YouTube link and drop it in the chat for me? Healthy Gamer is Dr. K. His first name is Alok, and his motto is, which I love so much, AOE, Area of Effect Healing. Right? Think about that for a second. AOE Healing. And that's what he does. So he's got a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, and he does live streams. He is a licensed psychologist, psychiatrist, but he's also a pretty, like, he's not an actual monk, but he's about as close as we're gonna get to like a legit monk, and he mixes Western medicine with Eastern medicine in a really, really interesting way, in my opinion. And he works exclusively with gamers and streamers. But the really fascinating thing for me has been, so I've always kind of approached Eastern medicine as a little woo-woo and a little like, you know, there's no medical proof, right? But here's the flip side of that, right? An entire region of this planet, right? Tens, hundreds of millions of, perhaps billions of people use it, believe in it, have amazing results, and that's not nothing. Like, just because there's not a scientific document saying that, and there actually are, but for the sake of this argument, yeah, doesn't mean shit. Should you go the Steve Jobs route when you get cancer and only follow Eastern medicine? Probably not, right? But mixing the two has really kind of opened my eyes, and just taking things from Eastern medicine and applying Western medicine sort of philosophy and testing to it is one of the things that Dr. K does, and it's been pretty life-changing for me, if I'm completely honest. And I know that sounds very, very woo-woo and whatnot, but it's true, man. This I started at the very, very end of 2020, and it's really changed a lot of things for the better for me. And so he's got when he does it, he does about like a 2-hour live stream typically with streamers, and talks through some stuff and acts as a therapist basically. And at the tail end of those, he will typically, but by the end of 2 hours, he has a really good idea of, does this person need ego help? Do they need depression help? Do they need anxiety help? He has a really good feel for where that person's at, and he will walk them through either meditation or yoga that is specifically targeted to bust down their ego or take care of stress or depression or anxiety, yada, yada, yada. Which is also the other thing that I really connect well with, right? Like just, go do yoga and meditate. It's like, okay, well, do I just go to Google and type in, how do I meditate, right? Like, it's, through his experience, he's got, and I don't have a great grasp on why, but he talks about it in them. So the one example I can think of that I've been practicing quite a bit is third eye meditation, and you put the tip of your middle finger here, like your third eye is like just slightly above your eyebrows, dead center. So the meditation practice is that you give the world the finger, and you hover the tip of your middle finger right there. You don't touch. And you close your eyes, and you're trying to like force yourself to think and to feel that position, and eventually you can. It's a practice, right? It takes time to get it, but you will feel that spot, and then you drop your hand down and you just focus and you push into that spot, and you even like breathe into that location, and it's a meditative practice that targets ego, and it tries to basically like bust down your ego. Most of you probably have a negative association with ego, right? Because we talk about like egotistical assholes. but your ego is actually just your autopilot. Ego is you about 95% of the time. That other 5% of the time is when you're like truly conscious, flying FPV, for example, right? Like you are very focused on like a conscious activity that's happening right now. But like, how many times have you driven, like you drive to work and then at lunch, you can't remember the drive. You can't remember any things that happened on the drive to work, because your drive to work, you were basically in like a hypnotized, that's what hypnosis really is. And that, yeah, like that's your ego, is this like autopilot, like it's just who you are most of the time. And this specific meditative practice, it doesn't have many things going on with your body. Like there's other meditative stuff that like you're moving your arms around, or he's got one where like you close one nostril, breathe in, breathe out, close the other nostril, breathe in, breathe out. This is not that. This is a very like mental centric meditation that's specifically for like a purpose, and that, I don't know, that just really connects well with me. So yeah, check out the Healthy Gamer GG here on YouTube or over on Twitch. It's yeah, he's a brilliant guy. He curses, which I love. He's just a very like genuine, real dude. Like, and that yeah, I don't know. I really dig it, and it's gotten me into a daily practice that I have not missed a single day this year of doing both yoga and meditation, and it has just been a real game changer for me. Yeah, give it a shot. You guys might dig it. I don't know how the hell. Oh, so to go all the way back, that's a hell of a rant. The first position that I do in yoga is hands together, up, and you just try to make yourself into as straight of a line as possible. And my left shoulder is the one that I fucked up, and that's like my right arm will go more, but my left shoulder is the one, because it's been 10 years now since I dislocated it, and I did all that physical therapy. And then of course I just stopped, and I haven't done it since. But it's nice that I'm starting to stretch that out again, and it feels good. Yeah. Toxic FPV says, "Wait a minute, where did the BattleBot fund go?" I started to get people like seriously messaging me, like that had like spent their time and effort like looking up cheap BattleBot builds for me, that like really thought that it was a real thing, and I didn't really like that. I don't want people wasting their time because of like a joke for us. And it also, like, after it happened like 5 or 6 times, it didn't feel great having to like explain to them like hey, it was a joke that the audience made, and then it kind of blew up, and like, sorry, I appreciate you doing the research for me, but you wasted your time. Like, it made me feel like an asshole, and then I would always get a response of like, oh. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I had to put the kibosh on it. Sorry, guys, but it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? It was a good... We had a good run. And now... I'm just gonna move this a little bit. Alright, there we go. And it was taking me time to have to explain that, and time is just something that I am in very short supply of. Espander with 2 pounds, he very correctly says, every little bit helps. Thank you very much, Espander, very kind of you. Much appreciated. Scroll. Freelojo says, no, not an OG board, but was a really aggressive carve to grip on the slopes. Got it. I guess I showed how little I really do know about snowboarding on that one, but that's okay. Scroll. Athix says, can you share that practice on FPV therapy? Yes, Athix. It's I had that thought a while ago. I haven't done it yet because I'm not quite good at it yet. Like yoga and meditation, it is like thinking of it as with the word practice. That's the key. That's been the key for me. Yeah, I guess as you could just build a battle bot, it would be easier. Yeah, right. It is a practice, like full blown. Like, what in your life have you ever just picked up and been really good at immediately? Why would this be any different, right? And that was like the disconnect in my head, because like I've tried yoga before, I've tried meditation before, and at the end of it, I'm like, all right, well, that didn't do anything for me. And then it's like, well, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Like, what? No, like, it's and like, if you think about it, right? Like, meditation is like is trying to quiet your mind, which like never happens for me. Like, there are just constantly dogs barking in my head all day, every day. So like, of course, why would you ever think that even if you do it 50 times that it's going to be successful, right? Like, it's a big thing that you're trying to do, like quieting your mind and being in the present, truly in the present, where you're not catastrophizing, you're not planning what's going on in 20 minutes afterwards, you're not thinking about how long it's been. It's really difficult, so you have to practice it. So like, just in my head, just like it being a practice, for whatever reason, has really helped me. Yeah, I've rewatched Dr. K's yoga. So his yoga routine, I guess it would be called, is nice and simple, which I really like. Kristen has done quite a bit of yoga, and she is like really good at it, and she can do all these like balance oriented poses that like I fall over, like I legit fall over. Dr. K's practice is very specifically targeted to gamers, so it's like very, very simple, and like you can get it done in like 10 minutes if you need to. It's just nice and basic. And so I'm definitely gonna do an FPV therapy stream where I go over it, which is I'm basically just gonna have the keystrokes are broken already. Come on OBS. I'm gonna have like this camera here, and then this one to get me like standing up and shit. But the other thing is, like, I would almost rather just have you guys watch Dr. K do it, because he's better at he's gonna be better at explaining it and whatnot. So let me actually do this. It is certainly something that I'm willing to do, and I am gonna do it, but to get you started, and I just searched for Healthy Gamer GG. Go to his channel, you can do the search, and just search for yoga. And so yeah, so this has the full routine in it here. He even, yeah, there you go, meditation for controlling ego, there you go. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff here. See, how to choose a meditation. Like, I always thought, god damn it, I always thought meditation was just sit Indian style and stop thinking. Like, it's not. Like, there's all these different types of meditation that like do different things. But yeah, here you go. Here is a link to Dr. K's very simple yoga routine, which, like I said, it's for me, it makes sense that it would really work so well, because I don't get any exercise at all, and it's been that way for a long time. Like 100% sedentary life for at least the last, like, probably since longboarding. So like 10 years of wake up, and like the most exercise I would, that's not true. When I worked at Benefit Focus, I would go for like a half an hour walk every day. But that's it. Like, and that was a pretty short period of time. Otherwise, the only exercise I got was the walk from my bedroom to the car, and from the car to my desk at work, and then back from my desk to the car, back from the car to wherever I was living, and then on the couch. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that for me, it's had such a drastic impact. I'll bet a lot of you guys are the same way, right? Like, a sedentary lifestyle is pretty popular nowadays. And waking up and spending a half an hour doing yoga and meditation practices. Look what's happened this year so far, right? Like look at my channel starting January 1st versus the entirety of last year, right? So, I don't know, give it a shot. If you're gonna give it a shot though, don't try it once, don't try it twice, don't try it 5 times, try it 20 or 30 times. Do it for a month, do it for 2 months. Like, make it a point to do it. If you miss a day, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Don't quit because you missed a day. Do it the next day. If you miss doing it in the morning and you remember right before bed, do it before bed. Because it just brings you down and it just puts you in this like very... For me, I like doing it first thing in the morning because for some reason I wake up with just like a bundle of snakes in my head and just like all these thoughts and like I have nightmares and it's just a disaster in my brain, inside my head in the morning. And this just puts me in a half an hour, it just puts me into this like organized, calm flow. And then I can go and like make breakfast and just like move into my day with like intention rather than just like scatterbrained all over the place. Oh my god, this person emailed me. Oh, let me just real quick get back to them. Oh, but I gotta finish this up. Let me just do this real quick and then I'll jump on that email. Oh, somebody, oh, Discord, right, I forgot about Discord. Oh, I forgot to mail this thing to somebody on Patreon. Let me go over to Patreon. All right, I got that done on Patreon. What was I doing? Oh, I was fixing this. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna fix this first. I wanted to fly though. Oh, okay, all right, so let me fly. I'm gonna fly at 3 o'clock. Oh, but this light, I was going to move this light into a different... Let me just do this light first, and then I'll jump onto this. And, oh, no, wait, the Discord... Oh, no, I already did the Discord. Wait, did I do the Discord? No, I did the Patreon. Oh, okay. Well, I got this fucking Facebook message. Oh, it's been 3 days since I replied back. So, yeah. A day in the life. You guys are getting a day in the life. This really is. Getting caught up on chat. Tiago said, oh wait, we got that. Tiago is who turned me on to Healthy Gamer GG. Tiago, what do you do? Do you do Dr. K's yoga or meditation techniques? What do you do? I don't think we've ever actually talked about that. For like a month, Tiago kept like, dude, check out Dr. K. Dude, check out Dr. K. Towards the end of the year last year, and I was like, yeah. All right, I will. And like, Kristen has been doing more with meditation and she's got an awesome sound bowl. And she pulls tarot cards in the morning and she's got some crystal stuff going on. And I was very unfairly, until this year, just like, you know, that's not for me, that's woo-woo, whatever, you do you. If you think the placebo that comes from that is worth it, that's great, but it's just not my thing. And placebo, like, look up some medical studies about placebo. There are like situations where placebo will have more of an effect than actual fucking medicine. So crystals don't do shit? Fuck that. Like, I mean, if you get cancer, don't just rub crystals on you. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, there are billions of people who use these woo-woo techniques to solve issues in their lives. And I would rather use a placebo to solve an issue in my life than a chemical that was invented 5 years ago that we don't know if 20 years from now will give me face cancer, right? So I don't know. I'm still just as scientific of a person as I ever was, but I would like to think that I'm a lot more open-minded. And being open-minded is never a bad thing. Never, ever, ever. Open-minded is not the same as being gullible. They're two very different things, right? I think we blur those lines way too often. Tuna Taxi says, how about an electric longboard build? If I'm going to go... Here's my stance on electric longboards. I get it, and I've ridden them, and they're super fun. They're also very dangerous. Like, Like I can see myself getting really hurt on an electric longboard. I mean, hell, on a non-electric one, I got pretty wrecked 10 years ago. But more so than that, if I'm gonna go longboard, which I should start because we have this beautiful greenway that runs along here. If I'm gonna go longboard, it's for like exercise. So I would rather spend the whole time kicking and doing long distance pumping. There's a way you can rotate your body when you're on a longboard that carves it, and you basically rotate your body and you throw your body weight into the rotation, so it drives that rotation, and then you go the other way and it drives that rotation. So you look like an idiot doing it. So like what I'll usually do is like I'll do it when nobody can see me, and then like if somebody can see me, I'll just start kicking until they go past, and then I'll start doing it again. But yeah, you can just do this, and it like hammers all the muscles here because you're twisting your whole body. But you can just and just keep going and going and going and going and going and going, and you never have to kick. It's really fun. You got to have a board that turns a lot though, because the board has to turn enough that when you throw your weight and rotate your body, it like, I don't know, relates or whatever. So yeah, plus the electric longboards are kind of expensive, and yeah, I'm just I'm living very frugal this year to get some debt under control and to get health insurance and just to get back up on my feet. Mellow Fox RC says, when you think of nothing, what do you think of? The present is the answer to that, Mellow Fox. If you've ever heard the saying like be present, right? Like it's very easy to say be present, or like live in the now, or be in the present, or whatever. That's in my opinion, like that's what I'm trying to do with meditation. Like I'm trying to just be only in just this current moment. And when like thoughts come into my head, most of those thoughts are about the future or the past, right? Like a couple times a day, just stop and be like, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about you're usually thinking about the future. And that ain't it. If you can do the practice for long enough, you will quiet that, and you will be able to let those thoughts just float away, and then you will just exist in this current moment. And that is what brings, for me, the anxiety level down. And it works on the ego, and it works on depression, because a lot of depression is, so as your intelligence goes up, as people's intelligence go up, they're much more prone to depression, because they tend to just think in the future and catastrophize, and oh my god, this is happening, and oh my god, I forgot to brush my teeth, I'm gonna get a cavity, blah, 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 blah. When you're actually in the present, you can't think about any of that stuff. Literally, you can't think about it. You're just in this current moment, and it just untangles things in my brain. It's pretty cool. Dr. K talks about how like when you keep going with it, you're able to have these like crazy experiences in your head and like hallucinations and all this shit. That sounds pretty cool too, right? Like, wouldn't you love to like not have to get illegal drugs wouldn't it be cool, instead of having to source expensive illegal drugs, to be able to sit really still for a while and just breathe and bring your anxiety and your depression levels down, and then have like a crazy mental trip? That'd be pretty dope. I'll let you know how dope it is when I get there. I'm not there yet, but I've had little twinkles of it, and it's like, it's pretty cool. We always think about like external experiences, right? Like, I'm gonna go do this to have fun, I'm gonna go do that to have fun. Billions of people just close their eyes and have a crazy mental ride. And I hope to be one of them. Abraham says, Headspace recently released an intro to meditation series on Netflix. They did indeed. Super legit. It's not free, but it's my favorite meditation app too. Yeah, Headspace is really good. I've been meaning to watch that series on Netflix. Yeah, meditation's the real deal, guys. If it wasn't, billions of people wouldn't be doing it every day, right? Even if you don't believe in the science, the whole rest of the world ain't dumb, right? Like, it's very easy to just be like, oh, no, those people are nuts. But, like, all of them? Are they all nuts? They aren't all nuts. We're the ones that are nuts. Good call on that one, Aber. I forgot about that Headspace thing on Netflix. It hasn't been coming. It was coming up on my like recommendeds, and it hasn't. Drone Pilot says your brain sounds like mine at times. Then it flatlines and I do nothing. It's either full on or full off. Yeah, for me it's just always full on. Even when I just like sit on the couch for hours and just don't move and just mindlessly watch TV, it is fucking off to the races, and it is just going 1,000 miles an hour, thinking about every possible combination of things that could maybe happen in the future. It's brutal. Drone Pilot also says, I agree. I would rather a natural product, even if there's no scientific reason. So I say if it works, who cares why it works? Yeah, it's hard to wrap. For me, it was very hard to wrap my head around that, but I'm very glad that I have. Athix says, CiottiFPV made himself a one-wheel. He did, that's right. Yeah, it's super cool. The one-wheel is really neat, but again, the whole shoulder thing when I turned 30 was a moment where I was like, all right, dude, you're not a kid anymore. Like, do things that aren't gonna, because not having the use of an arm, and like the shoulder thing is big, right? Like longboarding and one wheel, like anything where you're standing up and then you fall, your shoulders just get obliterated. So yeah, I not for me. Not especially now that this has already been dislocated once. When your shoulder dislocate, like the cartilage it starts off like this with the ball in it, and then when you dislocate it, it opens, and like it'll close a little bit, but it never closes the rest of the way. Like it's always open like this. So forever your shoulder is held in by mainly your rotator cuff. So that's why people that have dislocated their shoulders once typically dislocate them more than once. And the second time you do it, it makes it like a bunch worse. Like the first time it happens, it's all of the physical therapists said to me basically like, don't let it happen again, because it's like exponentially, it gets like exponentially worse if it happens a second time, and then a third time, and then like there's these people where their shoulders will just come out of joint, and like that, it's just disgusting. That's the other thing. It's just gross. It's just so gross. So I'm willing to sacrifice electric things that I stand on for not letting this shoulder get any worse. Mr. Huggy says, I've been doing yoga for years now. Yes, it works really well, both physically and mentally. Yeah, and I didn't really talk much about and so what yoga, what Dr. K talks about. Did I not post the link? Just in case I didn't post the link, there it is again. Doing, for me at least, and this is what he talks about, yoga prepares you for the meditation. Whenever I would try to work out for like a week and then give up, I would do it with like headphones in and like music blasting and shit and like all this stuff going on. Yoga, like if there's noise, I'll put on like a YouTube sound bath, which is just a bunch of sound bowls, just like noise to cover up like other external things. But yeah, yoga does have amazing physical stuff, obviously, because you're stretching and moving and doing plank and working your muscles, and like that gets the endorphins and shit going. But the other thing it does is like when you're doing this stuff, you're thinking about the like holding it, and you're not thinking about what you're up to tomorrow. You're thinking about like the physicality of what you're doing, and you don't have headphones in. You're not reading a book. And then when you get done with that and you sit down to do the meditation, what he says is that the yoga prepares you for the meditation. And yeah, so that's how sort of like the mental and physical kind of blend together a little bit. Tiago says he's been doing the meditation, but I haven't reached the point I was 20 years ago. Used to do Kung Fu, and we did a lot of guided meditation. And the guided meditation is like the next level of cool. I haven't really gotten into that, but I look forward to that. Drone Pilot says, daughter wrecked herself on a longboard, came off at 60 kilometers an hour, broken arm, ripped skin, shreds everywhere. It took ages to recover. Had to replace her medicated gauze for three times a day. Yeah, dude, longboarding is brutal. I saw some nasty injuries longboarding. It was really scary. Mr. Huggy says, I find one of the best times is to do meditation at night when everyone else has gone to bed. Yeah, I like doing it at night too, but in the morning has been my jam. Mark Kunoff says, have I been saying this like broken record? Eckhart Tolle is the master of presence. Eckhart is on YouTube, I believe, right? I'm subscribed to him somewhere. Pretty sure it's on YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot. There's yep. Yeah, lots of really fascinating stuff out there about just. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in our brains, and we can, if you're willing to do the work, you can solve some pretty crazy issues with just force of will, basically, you know, and that's pretty liberating. It feels pretty goddamn good to like put the work in and have like a result, rather than taking a pill. And taking a pill, and taking a pill, and taking a pill, and taking a pill. And there's nothing wrong with taking pills, but if you can fix it without the pills, and actually fix it, right? Not like, ooh, it's fixed, right? Like, actually help and practice and do something that, you guys know what I'm saying. Halfboard says, shoulder used to pop out a lot after a skate injury. I had to build up the muscle and stretch it out all the time. That's that PT working for you. CiottiFPV says, bro, those singing bowls, yeah, I know, right? The vibrations are that's the singing bowls help me because like I'm a musician. That was like my earliest hobby. So like I don't know, just like I've always found like the actual vibrations that come out of instruments, like and then eventually I got into home audio and started in car audio and started to like learn more about that. And it's just I don't know, vibrations and oscillations have always been kind of interesting to me, and the singing bowls are like a very pure form of just vibrations. And one of the meditation techniques that Dr. K actually has in the one video is like he hits a singing bowl and he just says, guys, focus on the vibration. And it's something that it's one of the things that allows me to block shit out and just focus on that and just just get into the present. Mr. Huggy says, placebo can have good effects by releasing things like endorphins. For me, it's music rather than crystals. Yep. And like, it's funny, right? Music is this made up imaginary thing, right? Like, music isn't even a physical object, right? Like, music doesn't even exist as a physical object. It's just this, like, thing, and like, what if aliens came down? If aliens came down and listened to music, they'd be like, okay, it's a bunch of noises or whatever. What are you lunatic human beings doing? Crystals, at least it's a physical object, right? Like, with a crystal, at least it exists. You could look at it, and like, if you took a crystal and showed it to the alien, they'd be like, oh, okay, it's a physical thing, cool. Whatever connects with your brain, you know, we're all wired very, very differently. LCV separated his shoulder. They said basically the same pain as dislocation, but the difference was it lasted for 3 months of pain before I could start physical therapy. That was rough. Yeah, shoulder pain is pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. And not really being able to use your arm, oh my god, what a pain in the ass. Jordan Pilot says, yeah, so right, last time I dislocated the shoulder, seemed to pop out. Blah, blah, blah. 10 seconds and it was back in. Mild pain lasts weeks, though. Dull pain lasts forever. Yeah. Take care of your shoulders, boys and girls. Don't dislocate your shoulders. How about that? Noise Boys Garage builds car audio systems and interiors. This is therapy when I fly. Yeah, man. It's whatever works. Whatever works for each one of us. It's magic. It's fucking magic, yo. Sun's coming down. I'm gonna go fly. This has been a day in the life of your boy Ciotti. CiottiFPV.com has a million ways that you can support me if you'd like me to continue doing this all day, every day. A bunch of affiliate links if you're ever doing an order for anything on Amazon, Get FPV, FPV Crate, ohmygod.com. There's a whole bunch up there. If you just hit my affiliate link button before you do your order, I will get 6% for free. That's all you have to do is hit the link and I will get 6% and I will waste that money on more FPV stuff to give you guys more testing. There's also a Patreon page over there, Teespring with some cool t-shirts, an Etsy page with some cool stickers. You'll see. Head on over, help a brother out. This has been your daily Patreon stream. The replay of this stream will only be available over on Patreon. You can get in on that for 10 cents a day. But I do leave these live while I'm streaming so that I can try to sell you on my Patreon page. Be good, boys and girls. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys tomorrow for Sim Sunday, and I will restart my old-ass computer before the stream in hopes that Velocidrone will work this time. Be good. Here's some copyright-free music. I'll see you tomorrow.